Ladies and gentlemen, what we are going to run over today is the neuro-driven objection handling formula, which I have created, developed and nurtured into a system that has closed me a minimum of $100,000 every single month. Now, I'm going to talk you through it, show you how you can implement it, and show you exactly what's required to be able to take it to the level that you want it to go. All right, let's go. First of all, what's important to understand about objection handling is that their objection is just the excuse. Whatever objection they give you is the whole reason as to why they're on the call. And why they're on the call is why they don't want to be. So when you look at that, you have to understand and reverse engineer your questions off the back of that one excuse. What you want to do is identify the excuse, going through a general framework, which is what I teach my students in the program. Isolate the excuse. So, for example, the excuses that you typically find. I want to think about it. I don't make decisions on the spot. I want to speak with my partner. I'm scared to invest, or fear. So, when you genuinely look at it, if somebody tells you that they don't have the money, what does that indicate? Is that they haven't been willing to get resourceful. They haven't been willing to go and find a way to get the money. That's the whole reason why they're on the call. So now the whole reason that they're coming off the call is because guess what? They don't have enough money. So this is super, super important. Now you want to get a tie down in any kind of objection handling. No, nothing dirty. Get your mind out the gutter. What you want to do, okay, cool. Do you genuinely feel that what we've ran over can get you to $100,000 a month? You do? Okay, cool. Why? Boom. Tie down. There are, like, if somebody says could or would or potentially, like, obviously you need to challenge that in a different way. So now you need to start to think of questions on how you can get them to break their own internal excuses, or the excuse that they give themselves, sorry. You need to have such a strong belief, and my mentor always emphasizes this to me. Every mentor should have a mentor. So I am like the coach who coaches the coach. Basically, who coaches the coach, and my mentor is the coach who coaches the coach who coaches the coaches coaches. Do you know what I mean? And so, like, we live in this fucked up info matrix of just coaching. If they want to think about it, they've been thinking about it their entire life and still never taken action, or when they do take action, they've still had this same disease of delay, as some would call it, meaning that they spend more and more time thinking, processing, wanting to do something, but never doing it as quickly as they want to, which causes a delay. So what you need to do is you need to get them out of their way. Why? Because they're going to be fucked up for the rest of their life if you don't. Like, genuinely, this is actually very serious. It doesn't matter whether they join in a month, a week, a year from now. Like, yeah, your follow-up pipeline can be so rich. Like, shut up, bro. Like, it doesn't even matter. No one cares about follow-ups. The reason as to why they've been delaying it is because they will have to face failure at some point, which is an ego-attacking task. They like to think about things so that they can assess how they're not going to fail. But everybody knows that failure brings growth. So you need to get them to change their relationship with failure in order for you to get the result that you want them to get, and to get paid, obviously. Okay? Like, obviously, going through failure, it hurts, it attacks the identity that they put upon themselves. So this is the belief that I hold in objection handling. Whatever excuse, I'm like, whatever objection, I see it as an excuse. I need to talk to my partner. Well, of course you fucking do. Like, that's literally what you've been doing for the whole fucking 3 years that you've been wanting to do this. The way that you want to do this is you want to keep them on side at all times. Objection handling, you sit on the same side as the table. You're not going at them in a 1v1 bare knuckle boxing chava mashup. Like, you actually need to be able to keep them on side by understanding, empathizing. You don't need to agree, but in some ways you kind of do. You just need to famuse it and massage the objection in, and then boom, little Muay Thai elbow straight to the head. So when you say isolate and flush, like it says on here, a pretty standard objection, like a money objection, right? Like, oh, it's just a lot of money. Damn, okay. Like, money aside though, is there anything else that would stop you moving ahead? No. Okay, cool. So with that being said, you put money to the side, nothing would stop you moving ahead, then actually, like, why is it that you're 100% in? Get them to resell you on the answer, then you're in, you're rocking, you're rolling, you're grooving, you're moving, right? And so now you flushed it out, because if there was another objection, they'd be like, no, like, I do want to do it, I'm just, like it is a lot of money, I'm just a little bit scared, or, like, they'd be honest with you, right? Like, other than the money, you are 100% in. You use the word 100% because it's like, you're not meant to use that word in sales, but it's in this context because you're almost like playing into their hand a little bit. Oh, well, no, like, wait, like, I always make decisions in the space, you know what I mean? So then it's like, okay, so it's not just the money. Yes, you need to solve it, and there's a specific order that you need to do it in. Okay. When you isolate and flush, you're either going to go into two objections, right? Or two objections, basically. Money, fear, if you like, or money, logistics. Meaning that they're either going to be scared to invest, or they're not really too scared to invest their money. Like there's not much of an emotional attachment to the money. What it actually means is that the logistics is holding them back. Meaning, yeah, you have to kind of figure out some kind of payment plan, get a down payment, emotional commitment whilst they go out and sort the money, whatever it needs to be. When it comes to money fear, this territory is not for the faint-hearted. This is no man's land. This is the trenches. This is behind enemy lines. You are deep. You're about to go deep psychologically into the prospect's mind, and don't even see them as a prospect, but you're going to go deep into, I don't know, Susan's mind, for example, right? Susan absolutely is screaming for your help, absolutely screaming. And if you don't give her the help, then guess what? Like, she is actually cooked because of you. Because you don't know how to help her. So follow this and you'll be able to help her, right? So when you get here, right, you need to go into limiting belief destroying mode, right? LBDM, what an acronym. So the limiting beliefs are going to be around money, external responsibilities, or self-doubt, or just self in general. Because when we uncover the magic mystery box behind this, boom, everything comes down to themselves. Because if they knew that they would be successful, they wouldn't care investing into the money. If they knew that they'd be successful, they would make exceptions for their external responsibilities. And if they didn't doubt themselves, they would take the step. So you have to understand, everything is based off of fear of failure. But if you go one layer deeper to that, it's based off a risk of status. Because no one wants to take a step in if they're not 100% certain. Well, 100% again is a strong word, but like, just for the sake of this conversation, like, no one wants to take a step into something thinking, fuck, what are they going to think about me? Fuck, what am I going to think about myself? Oh my God, if I fail this time around, like, they start to panic because it risks who they are. They have to change and step into something new, which is leaving their old self behind. It's risking the status that they've taken 20, 25, 30, 40, sometimes even 50, 60, 70 years to build. So you have to understand that it's actually a very scary step. So when you are able to empathize and understand with that step, it means that you can put them into a new astral projection land. How are we going to do this? As you can see, right, this is like what it's like. It's like jumping out a plane. I don't know if any of you have done a skydive. I haven't, but like, I would definitely love to do one. Or like jumping, like rock jumping, cliff jumping. This is where the dollars are made, brother. When you understand that it's a fear, it's like, okay, so if you knew that you'd be successful, would you do this? Yeah. So the only thing stopping you then is what? Don't believe that you are going to be successful. However, let me ask you, right? Those goals that you mentioned of you earning $10,000 a month, of you providing for your family, of you providing for your kids, taking the next steps into your life, are those steps worth you believing into yourself? Okay. How long have you wanted those steps? Remind me. 10 years. And they haven't happened because of what? Because you are slacking, motherfucker. So when you genuinely look at it, like, in what way does delaying it make sense if you feel that we can help? Doesn't. Because every single prospect that you've let off of a think about it, and you know this as well, and so do I because I've done it, every single prospect that you've let off of a think about it has never come back. Or if they have, then they've just procrastinated and called your program a scam. I know that for a fact on offers that I've closed on before, and also for myself as well. Right, when you go here, you're rediscovering the idea of them not taking action because they're delaying failure. They're in this fight or flight risk right here, thinking like, this is literally their point of view. Them jumping out the plane and that land underneath them there is like, heart is racing and they don't even know what to do. So what you need to do now, off the back of this, help them to understand that, like, the whole reason why they're on this call is because they had an idea of what life was like on that land. And so you need to you've now reignited this of like, oh, I am actually here for 10k a month. I am actually here for 100k a month. I am actually here for my kids. Fuck, I forgot about that. So what you do, right, is you go into what I call a level 3 objection. The fear, the belief, the identity of who they are now. You need to challenge them to make decisions of who they want to become, not who they are today. That is how people make real money in sales, okay? So when it comes to you having this fear of failure, how long have you had that? 5 years, okay? And acting in line with that for the last 5 years, what impact has that had? It's really slowed me down. It's meant that I can't provide for my kids in the way that I want, okay? And like, looking at the fact that you can't provide for your kids at the level that you want to, what emotions are you experiencing right now when you realize that your kids are suffering because of your lack of action? Yeah, terrible emotions. Okay, well, you can either hit them with any of these three: analogy, reframe, or pitch identity, whichever one's going to work for you the best. A reframe would be something simpler like, well, what makes more sense then? Does it make more sense to continue acting in line with your fear and letting your kids suffer? Or does it make more sense for you to actually level up as the dad or the mum or the fucking uncle that you want to be? No, it makes more sense to level up. The way that you pitch the binary is you make it as if like one of them is like being punched in the face by Mike Tyson and the other one is like getting handed $1 million briefcase by Charles Bronson, right? I mean, like, probably you wouldn't really want any of those. But anyway, like, point aside, you get what I'm trying to say. You need to make one blatantly obvious that they want it and the other one blatantly obvious that they don't. This is how you get people to go, and this is how you lead a fucking conversation to the place where you want it to go. Okay, so are you ready to actually make a mental adjustment, or are you ready to change, or are you ready to actually let go of the fear to be able to do X? Okay, yes I am. Why though? Most closers would go for the close here, but I like to do it slightly differently, only because it's very easy for people just to become like, oh my god, I really want to do it, and then like go for it, and they're still fucking scared. But you need to future pace the idea and the identity and the reframe of them making different decisions. So when you do start to make different decisions, and your kids can come over to you and say, dad and mum, I'm so fucking proud of you for being the best dad or the best mum that you can possibly be, and your kids are crying with joy because you're just the best parent and you have been for the last 18 years and you've provided generational wealth. What's that moment worth to you? Everything. Now, because you've listed off a complete story, it's an experience, right? I've got call after call after call with this on. And if you want to go and see clips of my calls, then go follow my Instagram, which I'll post in the description right now. And there are a bunch of like cool little clips on there from all of my sales calls where I literally run through this on a daily motherfucking basis. All right. And once you've got the future pace, obviously you need to then go for the consequence. However, if you continue, Susan, to hold onto this fear and use that as the reasons to why you don't change, do your kids ever get to see the best version of you? No. Silence, right? You can hear the crickets. So you have to make it super intense. You would never speak as fast as I'm speaking right now on a sales call. I'm just doing it because I'm in the fucking zone. I'm in my bag right now. Once you got the consequence, then you can go for the close, in my opinion. It doesn't have to be a strong consequence. It just has to be a small cost of an action question. Can I challenge you enough to take the step today of the Susan 2.0, the one who does show up as the best mum for her kids, the one who's able to do everything in line with who she wants to be? Yes. Are you sure? Okay. How does that feel, Susan? You're very brave. Well done. I'm proud of you. So what we can do then, next steps, get you onboarded, get you rocking and rolling, and we'll take the first step to Susan 2.0 at 10k a month, who provides for a family and makes the changes. Are you happy enough? And you look at her like this, and you slowly pull out the strap from underneath the table, and then she's like, yes, and you put it back down. She's like, okay, cool. So basically, that is how you objection handle in 15 minutes. This is absolute sauce. I don't normally do this, but what I'm going to do in this instance is I'm going to drop my Calendly in the description. I'm going to let you book in a one-to-one call with me, and I'll objection handle you for free just to show you how fucking sick it is. But there's only 6 slots available. Either follow my Instagram, go and book a call in, depending on how brave you are. And if you're feeling brave enough, then this is how you should go. This is what I do for my students. And if you're lucky enough, if you're nice enough in the DMs or on the call, then I'll send you this whole Neuro board for free. This is literally what I teach my students, and they're printing over 50k a month right now. Okay? Peace out.